Hello once again, and I thought I would talk about Fawlty Towers. Not the original one, which was an absolute classic, but John Cleese and his daughter Camilla are thinking about continuing it, I would say, writing new ones. In the 2020s, where there's a lot of wokery about. Probably not the best time to make comedy if you're thinking Fawlty Towers. Fawlty Towers was an absolute classic. It was written in the 70s. Well, days where you can get away with whatever you want and say whatever you want. Well, I say that within boundaries, you know. And the boundaries were pretty big back then compared to now. You've got little tiny boundaries because of snowflakes and wokery, whatever. They'll try and cancel you, I should say, not counsel. You probably need counselling after watching all this fucking shit comedy you have nowadays. I won't even fucking touch comedy nowadays because it's not funny at all. It's all got to be regulated by these fucking wokes that don't like it because they don't get it. That's why they don't understand comedy. I think the last decade was the 90s for good comedy. It just went downhill from there. Obviously the golden years were probably from the 60s to the 90s. You know, I'd say more the 70s and the 80s were the, you know, when the comedy was great. Obviously with ending it with the 90s because you had Bottom. It was I think the Alan Partridge. I'm Alan Partridge. You know. I think that sort of ended it. I know they made a second series in early 2000s. It wasn't as good as the first series, but it was okay. But no. The comedy's dead now. You can't get away with shit. It's just stupid what these wokes are all about these days. Oh, cancel it, and they find it too offensive. They find Fawlty Towers too offensive these days. Because you don't fucking get it, do you? You don't get it. You don't get the comedy. Nah, brilliant. You know, could you imagine Basil Fawlty taking the piss out of the Germans? Well, he wouldn't take the piss out of the Germans because obviously it was about the war, wasn't it? You know, you couldn't get away. I don't know. Some woke. What could you do nowadays? Sort of like on a similar line. Not a lot without people taking offence, you know. You can't get away with it now. It's stupid. You bastard wokes. Just let people enjoy themselves. Why don't you just let people enjoy themselves? If you don't, the way I've always said and always thought, if you don't like something, don't watch it. Why fucking cancel it? You know, if there's something I don't want to watch, I won't watch it. I won't have it cancelled. Why should I? That's not my right to have it cancelled. No, I just think that's absolutely fucking selfish. And that's what these wokes are. Fucking selfish people. Won't let anybody else have their fun. And that's what's killed comedy, is these bloody woke snowflake bastards. Yeah. So this is unfortunately why you can't write another Fawlty Towers. Because what sort of comedy can you do these days? Not a lot, unfortunately. I mean, Fawlty Towers absolutely funny. Basil Fawlty himself was it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant as an hotel manager. Now, I know the Americans did a version of it called Pain. No. It's a British comedy. Americans can't do British comedy. I know the Office was supposed to be a success, but I didn't like The Office anyway. It was shit. I didn't like the British version of The Office. It was so dull and drab. I suppose that appeals to office workers. I guess I was never an office worker, so obviously it ain't ever going to appeal to me. But it didn't appeal to me, but it might appeal to other people. You know, would I cancel? Of course I wouldn't. I'm not like that. I don't cancel. I want to cancel nothing. But I did might say in the past that EastEnders should be cancelled, only because I'm paying a TV licence, for fuck's sake. But then again, other people might like EastEnders. I think it's just a depressing bunch of shit. Even though I did watch it years and years and years ago, I did watch it. But that was, I think it was, I don't know why I watched it. Perhaps I was mental or something, I don't know. But Fawlty Towers. Now, I understand that Miss Scales, Patrilla Scales, I can't bloody pronounce that right, don't want it back or something like that. I can totally understand where she's coming from. She was quite a strong character, you know, played Basil's wife back in the day. She was quite a tough, you know, didn't take any shit. I don't know what Camilla, John Cleese's daughter's going to do. Is she going to take over the role? Can you imagine being the next sort of Mrs. Fawlty's daughter, emulating her dad sort of thing? I can't see it. I just can't see it working in this day and age. I really can't see it happening. It won't work. The wokes won't like it. They will complain and complain and complain because they just won't like it. At the end of the day, who gives a shit what they like? Why's it everything got to be about them? Why can't we just stand up and say, let's just fucking ignore these fuckers and just, you know, just carry on with making good comedy and stop worrying about if people don't get it. This is what it is. They don't get it. And this is why they take it as an offence. Because they don't know what comedy is. They don't know how to have a laugh. They're just miserable bastards at the end of the day. Yeah, I don't know, and I just think it's a 70s comedy. It only lasted for 2 series and only 12 episodes were made, and I think there was a good reason to that. Perhaps because they ran out of ideas and they just didn't want to make it go on. I think those 12 episodes, they were brilliant. It's like with the young ones, they only made 12 episodes of that. I don't know how far they could have gone. Perhaps they could have gone further with it, but you couldn't get away with that nowadays. But would you want to see that brought back? I think these old comedies are great as they were. You know, I happened to live throughout the 80s. I was part of the 80s, even though I was a kid during the 80s, but I remember the 80s. I don't know much about the 70s, even though I was born in the 70s. I was just in single digits, so I didn't know too much about the 70s, to be honest with you, at that time. But I remember watching the Fawlty Towers in the 80s and the reruns, and I had it on video in the 90s, and I've got it on DVD now. But they're always a pleasure to watch. All these old comedies are an absolute pleasure to watch. It took you back to a time when you knew comedy was fucking great. You know, you can get away with it. You can push the boundaries. You could say within reason. You know, you could just get away with it. Not like nowadays. You just got to be very careful. Saying this, you could offend this person. You could offend this bunch of people. Nowadays, oh my God, it's just, you're just like stepping on eggshells nowadays. This is what I keep coming back to. If you don't like something, don't watch it. And this is what annoys me about people trying to cancel, you know, comedians. You know, if someone puts on like Jim Davison and other comedians, Roy Chubby Brown, just because someone don't like them, they want to cancel them. Who gives you the fucking right to cancel them just because you don't like them? If you don't like someone, don't watch them. Don't acknowledge them. It's the way I see it. It's like these new comedians. Nowadays, they ain't funny. But I wouldn't want to cancel them. It's not my right to. I just won't go and see them. Simple as that. You know, use your fucking common sense. That's what it's about. If you don't like someone, don't see someone. It's like my channel. If you don't like me, if you don't like my channel, simple. Don't watch it. Common fucking sense, innit? No, not with some of these people. They don't know what fucking common sense is. But yeah, Fawlty Towers, tell me what you think. Should they bring it back? Should they continue it? To me, it ain't going to succeed unless you're going to tame it down. Unless you're going to tame it down, that's the only way it probably will succeed. But then if you tame it down, it'll be crap. You won't have that magic like what Basil Fawlty did. You know, it was brilliant. John Cleese playing Basil Fawlty, what he could do, what he done. You know, but the thing is, he's having a go at people, but he makes himself look like the fool at the end of the day. But that's what's brilliant about it. You know, he even knows that. You know, fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for its time. You know, even I like watching the old classic comedies. The old classic comedies are the best. New comedy is just full of wokery, unfunny, and I don't particularly like it. But well, as I said, I won't cancel it because I'm not that sort of person to go around cancelling stuff. I just won't watch it. Common sense. Anyway, tell me what you think. Would you want to see Fawlty Towers again? A new version of it? If it does, I'll watch it as a curio. I will watch it as a curio, just to see what it's like, you know, because I'm a fan of the original Fawlty Towers. So obviously, I'm gonna watch it if they do write it, if they do write a new one. And you know, it's an if. If they do is another thing. But I'll probably watch it as a curio. But I know damn well it's not going to be no way as funny. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, and goodbye.